to the Mitre10 Cup Round 7 wrap-up, brought to you by DrivingMaul. Hi, I'm Paul, the guy behind DrivingMaul. Great to have you with me. And yeah, everything seems to be working fine for a change. This is absolutely superb. So, what do we say? We say it's Mitre10 Cup time. Yay! Cool. So, kicked off the round with Hawke's Bay playing Northland in for a game that was basically the first game or the middle game for Storm Week for these two sides. Northland went out to a decent lead. I mean, they led at half time by 24 to 38. Debrasini, Ronnie Ranger, pardon me, both playing big parts in that. And then basically the got a yellow card in the second half on 63 minutes. And during that next 10 minutes, we basically saw Hawke's Bay come back to a 48-41 lead. So they pulled it all back from being 36-41 down and went on to win it 51-41. Brad Weber having a big say in that with a couple of tries in there at the end. So I mean, yeah, obviously cracking game, 55-41. A lot of points. I didn't see this one, but that's how that one finished up. I was then I drove down to Rotorua for Bay of Plenty versus Manawatu. Thank you, Bay of Plenty, for the press pass for that one. Tightly fought game, 15-17, not the best game in the world, to be honest. I've got to have a chat with Terry Black in this one, but basically the Bay of Plenty had a kick, a 50-metre penalty to win this one when they were actually yellow card up. So perhaps they should have taken the points. But Manawatu, much needed win. Only their second victory since the beginning of the season. And as I say, let's hear from Terry Black in my interview after the game.
Here we are, post-game at Bay of Plenty versus Manawatu with a morale-boosting victory for Manawatu Turbos, 17-15. You must be happy with that.
Oh, mate, stoked. It's been a tough couple of weeks for us. And to finally get a hard-fought win like that up here in Rotorua is pretty satisfying, mate. So really, really good to get in.
Hey, you guys were under the cosh for a lot of that game, a lot of defence, and that's really what held up rather than flash attacking plays, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly, and it goes to show our culture's still strong after a tough few weeks, and to hold out defence like that against a good team like Bay of Plenty is pretty satisfying, mate.
And also, personally, good to get back out on the pitch and have a few games as well.
Oh, exactly, mate. I'm just happy to be back playing. It's been a tough road the last few months, and to be back playing with the boys and have feelings like this again is awesome.
Yeah, I just thought I've got my Blues jersey on, so that's it. We were hoping to see a lot more of you earlier this season, but yeah, funny fit coming back for the getting Super Rugby next year as well.
Yeah, mate, 100%. I'm really looking forward to it. We've still got a couple more games here, so I'll get through that. And I'll get up talking and get stuck into it.
Okay, right. Thank you very much for your time, and enjoy the rest of the season.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate it. Thank you. Cheers, mate.
So you guys, you heard Manawatu, big defensive effort to get them that win. Sorry about all the background stadium music that was there. And also, I came across a rare Englishman that plays rugby in New Zealand. He's based down in Canterbury, but is on loan at the moment with Bay of Plenty. So this is an interesting chat as well.
So here I am, and at the end of Bay of Plenty versus Manawatu, and rather than talk about the game, I've got Tom here, who is an ex-Saints man.
Yes, yeah, former Saints Academy, and been around a few clubs in the UK, and then made a trip over to New Zealand. So yeah, decided to play some proper rugby.
So proper rugby. So this is what your second season over here, Neil?
Yeah, so our third or fourth actually over here. So we got quite lucky with a few injuries to Canterbury and then Manawatu actually last year. So been around a few clubs and experienced a few areas of the country, but just playing this level, I'm really grateful to sort of get the opportunity to run out the pitch with the calibre of boys that play this competition. Really.
And so, you say you're playing up against your old teammates here, with a few sort of bit of friendly hits to put in there to make some more old counts.
I'd say you probably get hit a little bit harder, but I don't know if that's just a mental thing, that if you've got mates like that who you can share a hit on the pitch, a bit of a scuffle and come off and share a beer with at the end, then I think that just shows the calibre of rugby and sort of the camaraderie that we experience and how lucky we are, to be honest. But no, there was a few extra shots we went in there, but that's rugby.
But you said you're based down in Canterbury, and obviously you came up and spent some time in Brampton North. Now you're spending some time in Rotorua and Taranaki. Did you just live out of the suitcase?
Luckily, no, I'm actually with a great group of boys, sort of Mitch Carr, Victor Leopold and Chase Tier, so sort of experienced the Super Rugby sort of mentality and way of life. But no, I think credit has to go mainly to my partner who's holding the fort down in Christchurch with our dog as well, so I can take the credit for enjoying some time out the rugby pitch, but she's doing the hard work back home, sort of holding it down, I think.
So are you now full-time in New Zealand, or are you trying to sort of heading home and back to
very much full-time, so lucky to have residency now, so I guess you could call it world to oyster, or hard work starts now, depends on which aspect you look at it.
Well, fantastic to meet you, and good luck for the rest of the season and also for next season.
Thank you very much.
So there you go. An insight into how some players get their opportunities, and sometimes it is through injuries to the players, and they have to travel around the country. As I say, he's based in Canterbury. Last season he flew up to Manawatu and spent the season there. This season he's spent it at Bay of Plenty. So showing you that you have to get around to do that. And here is a very quick chat with the Bay of Plenty assistant coach.
Hi, Paul from DrivingMaul here with you from the Bay of Plenty versus Manawatu. I've got David Hill from Bay of Plenty. You guys have plenty of ball today, but your own errors really in their half cost you a lot.
Yeah, that's it in a nutshell. It's our errors and our mistakes and some inaccuracies at times, so we really have ourselves to blame, and it's always quite tough to take some days.
The scrum was looking very good on top. I mean, we'd always say the scrums, the pack wins, and then that decide by how many, but that wasn't going to be the case, unfortunately, even with that on upper hand.
Yeah, scrum was really good. We've come good the last couple of weeks with the scrum. They've put a lot of work into it, so pretty proud of the effort up front, but like I said, couldn't quite get the end result.
Losing your turn early to an ankle injury and having a 6-2 bench, did that play any part to it?
Yeah, unfortunately we've got dings all over the park, so the 6-2 was required because we had a number of other injuries, and then when you lose a 10 and a 12 from your starting team, then puts a bit of pressure on. We've covered that enough in scenarios and situations where guys are prepared to play multiple positions, so we're pretty comfortable with doing it. We just don't hope that you lose a 10 and a 12, which puts you under a bit of stress.
Yeah, it does. And also, I see you're wearing the blue ribbon. So they did say very good work for you guys raising money for prostate cancer. And thank you for doing that. And thank you for your time.
No worries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
So you can hear there also that injuries is playing a big part in this competition. When you're playing games Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, there's lots of short turnarounds. Sometimes you're playing 3 games in 15 days. You don't have time for recuperation that much. These squads are also a lot thinner than the Super Rugby squads because half or more than half of the players will be semi-professional guys who are playing club rugby and who are trying to make it as Super Rugby players, and which means you can't carry a lot of a big squad because there's not that players can't give up their jobs if they're just going to be sat around and not actually playing. So injuries do play a big part in this one. So you can get teams will get lucky and unlucky with that kind of thing. Moving on to and that obviously set up. That's Manawatu's second win of the season. They're not really going to do anything. Let's be honest. They're going to finish outside the playoffs. That also probably put paid to Bay of Plenty's chances of making the finals. They still have a chance, but it's now definitely an outside chance, and they rely on other people's results from now on. Auckland then played Otago, and we had a surprise result on Friday night where Otago beat Auckland, who'd previously been undefeated in this competition. They won all their games. If we'd actually been aware, think about it, this probably was coming. Otago fighting it out for those playoff positions in the championship. Auckland only won by 1 point against Taranaki last weekend. And let's be honest, Taranaki have been having a poor old season. And let's hear from Matt Fadders, who scored a couple of tries during this one.
So here I am with wrong way. With Matt Fedders after their impressive victory over Auckland. You must be very happy being the first side to beat Auckland.
Yeah, very happy. I mean, they've been a standout side all year, and I mean, with us, it's an attitude of working hard, and I mean, that's exactly what we did today. We had a few people come in with first opportunities for the season, and they put their hands up and did really well.
Yeah, and you really did. You were under the cosh for the first 20 minutes, but you took your chance as well with the breakaway try, and then you yourself out-hustled some players for tries in the second half. It really was you showed how much you wanted this win.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of those tries were pretty lucky on my behalf, but I mean, you got to take those. And I mean, last week we were guilty of missing those opportunities. We made a lot of line breaks, but we couldn't convert them into points. To convert them this week, it's pleasing going into a short turnaround anyway.
And also with Bay of Plenty missing out last night, this puts you 10 points clear of them, and in a rather a nice-ish position come finals for heading towards finals. Yeah,
it's still pretty neck and neck. Obviously, would love to get a home playoff. I think we've confirmed a playoff now. Maybe I think I read that somewhere, but. Yeah, it's obviously home advantage is massive for us. We love playing under the roof, and there's so many sides still competing for that top 4 spot. So, yeah, I mean, we've got a different run into them, and I think Manawatu is still in the play, and there's obviously a few more teams.
Yeah, because you've got, I think you've got Tasman coming up, obviously Bay of Plenty next, which will be the real key crunch one. It is, yeah, and then Waikato to finish things off. So you have got a toughish, one of the tougher run-ins.
Yeah, I mean, we've got that Storm week second last week, and if things go to plan, and the final game of the round robin might be a shield challenge if Waikato can keep it tomorrow night, which would be the plan. So yeah, we've got to knock over Bay of Plenty now. We've got to put our focus into them, and I mean they're a very dangerous side. They're a great team. They probably have been underperforming, so them coming down are going to be very dangerous. And I mean we're just going to be at the best of our game every game.
Great. Thank you very much for your time, and I will see you in Waikato for that shield game.
Hopefully, cheers, mate. Appreciate it.
So there you go. Obviously, Vadas already starting to look at the Bay of Plenty game. As you heard during that previous interview, though, Bay of Plenty lost their 10 to a broken ankle, actually, in the end. And he was their backup 10. They've already lost Delaney as well. So that's 2. So, yeah, I say injuries playing a big part in that kind of thing. And out-hustling was really the element of that game. I think a lot of people were saying that Auckland took Otago far too lightly. Now, Sam Prattley here probably won't say that in so many words, but I think that's probably where Auckland lost the game.
So here we are post-game, and tough to have your first loss of the round, but still top of the table.
Yeah, it's really tough. I mean, we're at home as well. And we don't like losing at home. Eden Park's our fortress, so pretty tough pill to swallow.
And you did. You had the upper hand during that first 20 minutes, especially, and it was more your kind of own individual errors, knocking balls on. Feeling kind of lost this game rather than were beaten.
I don't think we were lost. We just didn't hold the ball. When we had the ball at the right part of the field, we were scoring points. I think what we failed to do is actually hold the ball a lot of the time. So we just turned too much pill over. And when we had it, I mean, we're dangerous at scoring tries. We're putting points on. The last 20 minutes, we had them down their end, and we were scrumming them. So, I mean, everything was there. We just didn't nail key moments.
It looked perhaps maybe a bit static sometimes with the ball on attack. Needed to have some more deeper runners, that kind of thing, maybe, or you just think just bad luck on the day.
Yeah, I mean, Otago D'd up well on our forwards. So you're right in saying we didn't get our go forward ball, and when we play like that, no one can stop us. I mean, when we got front foot ball, our forwards are running onto it. Our back, it opens up for our backs. So again, probably an area where we didn't nail is our go forward ball through the forwards.
So still top of the table though, and still as long as it's still all in your own hands. Storm week coming up in a couple of weeks, all getting all the fitness and things in place for that.
Yeah, I mean we've got a bit of depth in our squad, so. Yeah, Storm week, so we've got Wellington and then Southland down there and then Harbour at home. So we've got 3 tough games. Southland don't know easy beats down there. Harbour is always a big game for us. I mean, this one we know we're going to chase. And again, Wellington down there. So it's going to be a tough week, but I think we've got the squad to do it and the boys. So.
And as you say, it's Wellington away, Southland away. It's a lot of travel as well. So good luck with the final few games. And and hopefully see you in the finals.
All good. Thanks a lot, Paul. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks, mate.
Okay, all good. Okay, fantastic.
So there you go. Still looking forward towards finals time for Auckland in that one. But dropping a game to Otago, they're clearly unhappy with, not comfortable with that at all. On to Saturday, and we have Waikato hosting Southland for the Shield Challenge, which obviously, as you heard from Fadders there, he was hoping that Waikato would hold on to it so they get a Shield Challenge in a couple of weeks' time. And here's what Waikato won that one pretty comfortably, 42-11 in that one. Let's hear who have I got up first. Up first we have sorry, let's go through it past the ladies' ones. Up first we have Roger Randall from
So the
Waikato.
winning ring run continues. Happy with the results, if not the performance?
Yeah, the result was good, but performance-wise, we left some points out there, but that was through Southland's pressure. Southland scrambled really well. We made a few breaks from the set piece in terms of our strikes, but I think our support was pretty poor, slow at times, and if we want to progress further in this competition, we've got to be better there.
Yeah, in that first half, you really dominated the territory in possession, but weren't getting the points to show for that. What was the message at half-time to the boys?
It was just around our support. Our ball carrier, just our adjustment on our ground and the ball placement. So I think, some of the tacklers were getting in there and looking post-tackle, but probably weren't supporting their body weight. But that's the way, it was officiated. So that's not up to me to decide on those things. So it's up to us to adjust to those pitches, and I think we slightly got a bit better there in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, four unanswered tries in the second half, and it really was a try either side of half time that kind of that gave you the control, wasn't it?
Yeah, Sevu got that try out of nothing, but we pride ourselves on being collective in everything we do, and there's no one person that stands out. So a lot of our efforts were on the top of collective efforts from everybody. So that was pleasing in the second half when that come off. But like I said, just our support play needs to get better.
Yeah, and with Suniola actually leading Sevu 8 tries to 6, so is there any kind of going to be some sort of top try scorer forfeit or the other buys the other dinner or something to competition for them?
No, I think the rolling maul's going really well for us, and Jono and Whitey got that going really well, and Sonny be the first person to admit that he's just a man at the tail of that, picking up some tries. So they've got that going really good.
Yeah, it is, and heard Sevu talk several times. He always says that he's just finishing off what the other boys do. So it's a great collective spirit you've got within the team to take you through the rest of the season.
Yeah, that's right. Like we like to promote or give credit to a lot of the things, the small things that are done off the ball. And so a big thing for us is around how much you care for your teammate, is how much you're willing to work hard and do those things that probably don't get recognised. So we've got a lot of guys like Mitch Jacobson, Aidan Johnson, and Burnsy as well. Just doing all the simple things with the clean out and even Bondi being one of the old veterans. He just gets in there and does his job and it helps everybody else. Kind of get the icing on the cake, I guess.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time, and I'll see you up in Whangarei for the Northland game.
All right, good man. Cheers. Catch up.
So there we go. The Roger Randall there, and showing the team effort, and actually going to have a quick chat with Sonny now, who is that top try scorer, and you'll see him again also talk about how it's part of the team effort. He's just the guy on the back of the scrum.
There we go, for a start, this helps. Yeah, hi. Here we are post-game, Ranfurly Shield Challenge between Waikato and Southland. And Sonny, you got 2 tries in that game.
Yeah, I'm quite lucky out there. I think I was just at the right place, right time. Forwards are working really hard at the front, and just lucky to end up with 2 tries, I guess. Yeah.
Lucky? I mean, you've been lucky 8 times this season now. You're the top try scorer in the competition. That's an awful lot of luck.
I'll take my hats off to our forward back, really strong up front. I'm just at the back, throwing the line out in, and it's sit at the back, enjoy the ride and finish it. But bigs up to the forwards because they're doing all the hard work. Yeah.
No, well, I mean, there's a lot goes into it. As you say, it's not luck. It's you've got the call's got to be right. You've got the call, get the line out. Got the throw in correct. All the boys got to bind nicely. It's showing some great team effort by the forwards as a whole.
Yeah, so the forwards, we've been training it. It's not just about one person. One person can score the try, but it's all about the forward back working together and trusting the system. And it's pulling out at the moment, and really happy to get over the line. Not just for me, but for the whole forward. We're working really hard, so yeah, it's good.
So you're an 8, Sevi's got 6. Is there any sort of competition between the two of you? Is there going to be so the loser or the person who gets the most has to buy the ice cream or something at the end of the season?
No, I don't think it's a competition. Obviously, the more we score tries, the more chance for us winning the game. So I got no problem. I hope we score more tries than me, but there's no competition there. It's just, I guess Seba's tries, he works for it, and I'm just sitting at the back of the lineup, so I'll give that to Seba. Yeah.
No, you do plenty of work too. Thank you very much for your time.
No, that's all right. Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of the season.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
So as you say, very humble guy there, and both of them showing that it's a whole. They've very much got a team and collective culture there in Waikato, which is what's driving them on so well. To be fair to Southland, they did actually come and play some decent rugby. So let's hear from the Southland coach.
So we are post-game at the end of the Ramfurly Shield Challenge, where Southland unfortunately came up short. A tough game at the office today, especially in the second half.
Yeah, I was happy with the first half. Disappointed that try got scored just on half time. There was poor defence from us, and that was a bit frustrating. And then, in the sheds at half time, we knew that they were going to roll out some big guns in the second half, but we thought, we've got to give it our best shot. I was disappointed about how we did come out of the sheds, given what the words were like in the sheds at half time. But full credit to Waikato, they came out and their guys started to perform that they probably weren't doing as well as they should have been doing in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, that first half, especially, you showed us that you can definitely play some rugby, and you're happy to throw it around and get some breaks and just perhaps didn't finish them off.
Yeah, and you're right. Our big lock offloaded a ball in the first half they shouldn't have done. We should have built pressure. Then our centre was about half a metre short of the line. So you take all those things into account, and they've been different. Who knows what would have happened? But it didn't happen. We played some good rugby in the first half, but we also let ourselves down with some silly errors too, and we just got to eliminate those. If we eliminate the errors, that's a lot easier, and it's a bit of focus for us for the whole year.
And you seem to play a bit different to some of the other teams that you were taking your threes. Was that definitely a conscious decision beforehand that you wanted to take all the points for on offer?
Yeah, well, it's a shield challenge. It's special. So you've got to respect that. And it's no different mindset really to a test match. And you take points. A 3-0 win is still a win. So that's still important. But we knew that wasn't going to be everything, but we've still got to build pressure, and scoreboard pressure is part of building pressure on the opposition. So that was a mindset.
Absolutely. And when you say these are special games, a lot of chat in the media room beforehand was about the 9-3 win the last time out. So, these are special games. They do last in the memory, and a shame you came up short, but thank you very much for your time.
No, that's great. Thank you. Appreciate it.
So there we go. Talk about there of Ramfurly Shields being respecting them, their special games, treat them like test matches, which is really kind of interesting to get that insight at these as to how important this really is for these kind of for these teams and players. On to Saturday after that, we had Taranaki versus North Harbour. North Harbour getting up 55-26 over Taranaki. Taranaki really having a tough season. It looks like they're probably going to get relegated now. It's going to be, unfortunately for them, Counties lost today, but they're going to need to pull out, get some victories in their last couple of games, where they're facing Canterbury and Wellington. So it's not going to be easy for Taranaki to get the points to save themselves. North Harbour fighting it out for basically pulled them away from the relegation battle between Counties and Taranaki, and they're fighting for an outside chance of making the finals as well. I don't think they've definitely not gone as well as they were hoping to in this in this competition in this year. After that, Wellington lost 22-28 to Tasman, Tasman really showing that the forward pack is what you need at this level. that Tasman are. A lot of people talked early season that they were the team to beat. That's Mantler's pass over to Auckland with their impressive run, but Tasman still are one of the top couple of sides in this competition, and really have got to be feared come finals time. Wellington, perhaps this is a season too early for them, and their pack isn't quite up to it, even though they have had some pretty impressive victories. Canterbury, today on Sunday, 49-20-24, saw off Hawke's Bay to maintain their challenge for a home quarter-final home semi-final in the playoffs. And finally, we had wrong page. Counties losing out to Northland 2024. Big win this for Northland in their search for finals rugby. Counties will be very disappointed with this score. They came very close to winning this one. They got over the line with about a minute to go, but knocked on going over the line. So this was a very tight encounter. Northland managed to get themselves up at half time and kept that lead intact. Rennie Ranger playing very well, having someone like Deborah Senior to run the show also helps as well. Where does that leave everything? Tasman now top the table after Auckland had their first loss. Auckland do still have a game in hand though, and are only 2 points behind. Auckland still haven't had their storm week. Canterbury are in second, Auckland in third. So 33 points, 32 points, 31 points. Wellington down in fourth on 28. North Harbour sit on 24. I must say they've got Canterbury and Wellington coming up. So it's going to be tough, but they are still in with a shout of making the playoffs. Counties on 15 are now out of it, and Taranaki on 13. So those two could even come down to losing bonus points in these last couple of games to decide who gets relegated. Down in the Championship, Waikato still top of the log on 28, with Hawke's Bay behind them on 23 points. They've now played Hawke's Bay and Northland, who are on 21 points, have now played their extra games, so they're on the same number of games, all played 8 games. Otago still got their storm week, as you heard Faddis say earlier on. They're on 20 points. They've still got a game in hand, so they could be sat in second, or who knows. Obviously, they've got to actually play those games. They're 10 points clear of Bay of Plenty, so beating Bay of Plenty will be a key game because Bay of Plenty are the last team that can overtake them and get into those finals. Otago clearly in a place finding it out with Northland and Hawke's Bay. In particular, I mean, Waikato are 8 points clear for one of those home semi-finals. Bay of Plenty Manawatu on 9 points, and Southland last on just 2 points. Haven't won a game in 2 years now. Really been a tough time for Southland. So that's where things stand. Next weekend, I'm heading up to Whangarei for Northland versus Waikato, just making the one game there. Hope to bring you wrap up and obviously interviews from that game. Enjoy whatever you're watching.